based in the Denver Boulder area. His organization is there. So every time I come through town, we find a way to work together. And actually, one time I should talking about following your heart and living through your heart. One time I did a tour where I did not get to go home for Thanksgiving. I had 2 shows sandwiched on the other side of Thanksgiving, and so he invited me and my band and John Butler Trio to his house for Thanksgiving dinner. And we pulled the bus up right out front, and we watched The Last Waltz and had some turkey, and it was great. Thank you again.
It was our pleasure. 22 people jammed into a tiny rental house. It was pretty crazy.
It was great.
Brett, when did you, guitar was your first instrument?
The guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I grew up going to a summer camp in the High Sierra Mountains, the Sierra Nevada Mountains of California. I started going there when I was 10, and it was a really, it's not like your typical summer camp that you see like in the movies, you know, where everybody dresses up like Native Americans and goes canoeing on a lake. It's more of like a rugged mountaineering summer camp, a lot of backpacking and climbing, but there's this really special part of the day called campfire at the end of the day where we all sit on this big granite slab, this natural amphitheater, and build up a big fire, and some of the counselors would play guitar and lead the whole camp in like John Denver songs and Joni Mitchell songs and Neil Young songs. And from the age of 10, I realized I didn't know what like being a musician was all about. I didn't know I could lead to this someday, but I knew I wanted to be a counselor at the camp, and I knew I wanted to be one of the counselors that played guitar. And so that ended up happening. When I was 14, I got a job there in the kitchen, scrubbing the plates after dinner, and I started learning guitar when I was 14, and then when I was 16, I became a counselor and started playing at the campfire, and that's when I fell in love with the idea of playing music. I still didn't know what it meant to be a musician. I hadn't even dreamed of writing one of my own songs, but just the joy of playing music in front of an audience, you know, of little kids smiling and singing, is what made me fall in love with music.
And what were some of those first songs that you were playing on guitar? Neil Young, Comes a Time was one of them. Indigo Girls, Closer to Fine was another one. And Joni Mitchell, The Circle Game were the first songs I learned.